For the warm-up, stand on your hands and knees with your wrists directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Begin by moving into cow pose. Inhale as you drop your belly toward the mat. Lift your chin and chest and gaze up toward the ceiling. Next, move into cat pose. As you exhale, draw your belly to your spine and round your back toward the ceiling. The pose should look like a cat stretching its back. Inhale, coming back into cow pose, and then exhale as you return to cat pose. Do this for 5 breaths. We will now transition to the standing series, which includes mountain pose, tree pose, chair pose, and downward facing dog. For mountain pose, stand upright with a straight back. This pose improves posture, balance, and calms focus. From mountain pose, with your arms extending on both sides, distribute your weight evenly across both feet, grounding down equally through your inner ankles, outer ankles, big toes, and baby toes. Shift your weight to your left foot. Bend your right knee, then reach down and clasp your right inner ankle. It is okay to lose your balance, just don't give up. Use your hand to draw your right foot alongside your inner left thigh. Then press your palms together in prayer position at your chest, with your thumbs resting on your sternum. Press your right foot into your left thigh while pressing your thigh equally against your foot. Hold for 5 breaths and then release the pose, stepping back into mountain pose. Next, we will move on to chair pose. Stand in mountain pose, inhale and raise your arms perpendicular to the floor. Exhale and bend your knees, trying to take the thighs as nearly parallel to the floor as possible. Firm your shoulder blades against the back. Keep your breath smooth, even, and deep, and stay in the pose for 5 breaths. Then inhale as you straighten your legs, lifting your arms. Exhale and release back into mountain pose. For our last pose of the standing series, we will be doing downward facing dog. Come onto the floor on your hands and knees. Set your knees directly below your hips and your hands slightly forward of your shoulders. Spread your palms, index fingers parallel or slightly turned out, and turn your toes under. Exhale as you tuck your toes and lift your knees off the floor. Reach your pelvis upward to the ceiling. Then draw your sit bones toward the wall behind you. Gently begin to strain your legs, but do not lock your knees. Bring your body into the shape of an A. Press the floor away from you as you lift through your pelvis. Align your ears with your upper arms. Relax your head, but do not let it dangle. Gaze between your legs or toward your navel. Hold this for 5 breaths, and to release, exhale as you gently bend your knees and come back to your hands and knees. For our next series, we will be doing the balance yoga poses. To start off, we will be doing Warrior 3. Begin in mountain pose with your feet hip distance apart and your arms at your side. Turn to the right and step your feet wide apart, about 4 to 5 feet. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees so your toes point to the top of the mat. Turn your left foot inward at a 45-degree angle. Pull your pelvis and torso in the same direction as your right toes are pointing. Bend your right knee over your right ankle so your shin is perpendicular to the floor. Raise your arms overhead with palms facing each other. Press your weight into the right foot. Lift your left leg as you lower your torso, bringing your body parallel to the ground. Your arms still extended will now reach forward. Gaze at the floor a few feet in front of your body. Hold the pose for 5 breaths. To release, exhale as you softly lower your left foot to the floor, coming back into Warrior 1. Lower your arms and step forward into mountain pose. Repeat the pose for the same amount of time on the opposite leg. Try to focus on a particular object to keep your balance. Our next pose is the downward dog split. Come onto the floor on your hands and knees. Set your knees directly below your hips and your hands slightly forward your shoulders. Spread your palms, index fingers, or parallel or slightly turned out, and turn your toes under, going into downward facing dog pose. Then, keep your left leg on the floor and lift up your right leg to transition into downward dog split and hold for 5 breaths. Come back into downward dog and lift up your other leg for 5 breaths. Our last pose in this series is the low lunge. From downward facing dog, exhale and step your right foot between your hands. Lower down onto your left knee and release the top of the left foot on the ground. Take your fingertips to the ground on either side of your hips and draw your tailbone down toward the ground. Feel free to remain here with your hands on your knees or your fingertips beside you for support. Or experiment extending one or both arms up alongside your ears. Stay in this position for 5 breaths. To come out of this pose, tuck your back toes under, plant your arms down on the mat, and make your way into downward facing dog. Take several breaths in down dog, bending the knees, then repeat on the other side. Now shifting onto the seated series that includes staff pose, lotus position, and cobbler's pose. To start off with staff pose, sit on the floor with your legs crossed and sit upright, and then extend your legs in front of your torso. Sit forward on your sit bones and draw your thighs to the floor. Flex your feet and press out through your heels. Keep your big toes, inner heels, and inner knees together. Strongly engage your thigh muscles around your thigh bones and activate the muscles surrounding your kneecaps. Press your thigh bones firmly down into the floor. Make sure your legs do not rotate outward. Keep your torso perpendicular to the floor and lift the crown of your head to the ceiling. Keep your chin parallel to the floor and gaze steadily straight ahead toward the horizon. To conclude our yoga series, we will now begin to cool down by engaging in child's pose and yoga pose. Begin by going on your hands and knees. Bring your knees together and your buttocks to your feet. Exhale and slowly rest your torso over your thighs so that your forehead touches the mat. For Cobra Pose, begin by lying flat on your stomach. Glide the top of your shoulders away from your ears. Distribute the length of the back bend evenly through your entire spine. Hold the pose for up to 30 seconds. To release, exhale as you slowly lower your chest and forehead to the mat. Now for final relaxation. Begin by lying flat on your back. Pay no attention to the sounds around you and simply engage in the stillness of your body and the calmness of your breath. This is the time to relax your mind, body, and your soul. Hold this for as long as you need.